Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry I'm a little under the weather. I got back from Colombia yesterday, so I'm a little, uh, I was coming from the altitude, so I'm a little tired today. But we're gonna do the best we can with this one. Juli, is this English, Spanish, or Spanglish? Spanglish? Okay, whatever. Good morning, over. Thank you for being here every Tuesday. I appreciate everyone that is coming every Tuesday. That means that we're doing something uh, important. We are learning something. We're teaching something. It's so good to have people from the industry that has been doing this for years and years, and including myself. I learn every day. Paola, Noris, Jeline, thank you everyone for being here today, okay? For being here today. Um, we're gonna start with a friend, ex-neighbor. We used to live in the same building. He's been doing mortgage for foreign investors for many many years, and I think it's very smart to tackle one niche in the industry. Real estate industry and mortgage industry, they're huge. We don't understand how big and amazing the industry can be, that if you really dedicate yourself to just one niche, you can be as successful as many people in the industry is. And one of those people is Mauricio. Mauricio, welcome to the stage. Mauricio is the CEO and owner of Q Capital. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about that. Q Capital has a lot of good marketing. Please follow them on Instagram. They have great tips all the time. Mauricio is a mortgage broker, and but his company has done something amazing. As I told you guys before, they have centralized many of their efforts on international buyers. Welcome, Mauricio.
Claudia, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me. And yes, foreign nationals. We love foreign nationals. We love international buyers. The market is huge, so that's why our niche is foreign nationals in residential and commercial properties.
And
And
especially now, right, Mauri? Because
yes,
now
right now,
Miami is the center of the world. So I'm pretty sure your business right now is thriving, and you were ready when the business, because you've been doing this for a long time. So when the boom in the city exploded, you were ready. Tell us a little bit about it.
I came here in 1996, and my idea, my thing to do back then, it was doing deals with Americans. I never thought that I was going to be doing deals with Colombians, Mexicans, Argentinians at all. And I found out that there's a need for medium-sized banks to lend to foreign nationals or to lend non to Americans only. So there's huge banks like Bank of America, Citibank, Wells Fargo. They don't have the necessity to lend to foreigners, but there are middle-sized banks that they cannot expose all their loans to Americans. So I found this, and I found this that why was this the reason? And then in Miami, in pre-construction, 50 or 60%, you know better than me, are sold abroad. The American, the people that used to live here, they were not used to buy in pre-construction. They wanted to buy something that was ready. South Americans, they know how to buy in pre-construction. So we specialize in pre-construction. And another thing, whatever happens in South America, good or bad, we feel it here. So when there's problems over there, they bring the money to the States. When they are very wealthy over there, they bring also the money to the States. So that's why we specialize in foreign nationals, and basically for three things. One, it's a huge market. It's a $50 billion market in the United
Oh,
States. 50
amazing.
billion only in used properties. The ones that are in pre-construction are not included here. So used property is $50 billion market, and besides that, it's easier. to do a loan to a foreign national than to us
Yeah,
Americans.
I've noticed that, Mauri, because when you're it's like a 5 documents they need to bring here because they're gonna put at least 25 percent down. We're gonna get into it, but 4 or 5 documents. While I mean, I have a blue passport as well. So when I was buying my house, oh my God, I had to bring every little detail and compare with my clients when I sell something abroad. They just have to have like 4 or 5 documents and that's done.
That's true. That's true because we're an open book. We have a social security number. With the social security number, a lender, a bank can pull your tax returns, can pull your credit report, can pull your bank statement. So we're an open book. The foreign national, we don't even need tax returns. We don't need to pull their credit report in their country because they're not an open book here in the States. So basically, it's a no income verification loan because of the down payment that it's the story says that because they give a good down payment between 25, 30, or 40% makes the deal easier. So the story says that the foreign national they pay well. So
Okay, let's get into
when
it.
they see a 1-800 number, they answer the phone. We don't answer the phone when we see a 1-800 number.
No, we don't. Never. I never do. Okay, yeah, that's a very good example. Okay, let's dive into it. What is it that a foreign? Let's go with the buzz out there because the things that I heard from my agents all the time are things like this. Okay, let's start with Venezuelans. Many people said that Venezuelans right now they cannot afford foreign loan because they're foreigners. Is that true?
No, it's not
Okay.
true. So there's three different tiers of lenders. Okay.
Okay.
The first lender is where you can open a bank account. You can go with your check and pay the mortgage every month. And there's what I call the first floor type of lender. The second floor type of lender is where there's no offices. It's only a phone, and you have to call to get information to pay your loan, everything. And there's a third level lender, which is the private lending. Okay, there's no offices. They're basically also on phones, and it's called an asset-based loan only on the property. Venezuelans don't have access, and let me rephrase my word. It's not Venezuelans. If the income comes from Venezuela, it doesn't matter where you're from. You can be Colombians, Spaniards, you can be from Portugal, you can be everywhere. If your income comes from Venezuela, then you don't have access to the first level of banks. If a Venezuelan lives in Colombia, if a Venezuelan lives in Panama, if a Venezuelan lives in Spain, which we have many of them, then they have access to the best options. So if your income derives from Venezuela, then we have to go to the second level and third level lenders.
Okay, so they can get a mortgage. It's just a little different because of the country situation, correct?
And the rates between the first, second, and third are different. The first floor lenders or banks, they have the best rates in the market. Then the second have a different tier, and then the third one have a different tier. So if your income comes from Venezuela, you're not able to get the rates as a regular Mexican guy or Colombian guy.
Understandable. Understandable because
And
of
the
the
reason
situation.
and the reason is very simple. It's not because what's happening. You cannot send a wire transfer from Venezuela to a
To the
American
United
bank to
States.
pay the mortgage. So the
Exactly.
lender here says, "How are you going to pay me the mortgage?" Oh, I have $2 million in the bank, but you can pull them out tomorrow. How are you going to make if your income comes from Venezuela? How are you going to send me a wire transfer from Venezuela because you can't? So that's the
Makes a
reason
lot
why.
of sense.
That's the reason
Makes a
why.
lot of sense. You see, guys, we learn something every day. That's the reason why the people from countries with this type of problems with the United States cannot get a regular foreign mortgage because that's totally makes sense. I didn't even know that. They cannot send a wire from Venezuela. How they're gonna pay the mortgage. Perfect. So the same thing happens with Argentina then.
Argentina, you can send wire transfers. Argentina,
Okay.
it's different. You can normally, even though people they don't trust the banks over there, they don't have the money on the banks. They can send a wire transfer from their company bank account. Let's say HSBC, they can send the money here or any bank in Argentina. The different situation is that they don't have the money in the bank. They don't trust a
Never.
bank in Argentina. So they do have a lot of cash, and they send the money through what they call cuevas, which the cuevas are like Western Unions or this type of
Yeah.
companies. So we got a solution for them in the first tier of banks.
Okay. Yeah. When I work with my projects, my EB5 component on the projects and developers that I work with, we cannot accept money from the cuevas because for Americans, that's money laundering.
So the
They
way,
have
for
to come.
example,
Yeah.
the same thing with the banks, Clau. So the way we do it, if you want to get the best rates as an Argentinian or having the money in Argentina, you need to open an account in the States. You need to send the money through the cuevas to your bank account in the States, and then from that bank account
You
that
can pay.
they're supposed to do their due diligence, you can send the money to the escrow account, or you can send the money to the
Exactly.
seller's
Yeah.
escrow account, and then we're gonna be able to get the first tier of banks. If you send the money right away from the cuevas to the escrow to the developer, then you're
Then,
not able to get the first tier.
then,
You need to go to second or third tier. But
yeah,
I
that's
always
why.
say, Cloud, if there's a property involved, we have a solution.
Yeah, but you know what? But I don't understand why clients start doing things when we tell them, don't move the money until we tell you how to move the money. No, I already sent the money. Like, I did it. No, how did you do it? I sent it through the Cueva to the escrow account. It's gonna be rejected. Okay, you have to send it back and then send it to your account and then send it to the escrow account. We have a question from Maria Olga. Good morning, Venezuelans with US bank accounts. No problem with first tier, even though they live in Venezuela?
They can have $10 million in the States, but if their income comes from Venezuela, they're not going to be able to get to the first tier banks.
Okay, everything is
It's
based
about
on
income.
where the
It's where
income
the
is coming
income
from.
comes from. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so Mauri, tell us in a perfect normal scenario that we never have, but let's say perfect normal scenario. What are the documents that a foreign national needs to have in order to apply for a loan? And guys, remember, real estate and mortgage industry is not a flat line where everything is perfect. We always have differences. And I always said, when many of you call me and ask me questions, I always answer depends. Depends of so many things. But in a normal scenario, what are the documents that a foreign national needs to have in order to apply for a mortgage in the United States, Mauri?
It's very simple, and it has to make sense. Everything has to make sense. Is the first thing. Okay. So the first thing is on the first tier lenders, it's what's called full doc, and the income from the buyer is the one that's going to qualify for the loan. So we're going to start with how do we qualify a foreign national borrower? We qualify with the personal income, and the first question that my team or myself are going to do is, are you self-employed? Are you the owner of a company, or are you an employer? And are you employed? So if you are self-employed or own a company or you make money through commissions, it's what we call here self-employed. So the letter is going to be simple that if you work for somebody, okay? So United States trust everything that's on paper. So if we as Americans issue a letter from our CPA, it's going to be the truth. So they assume that a CPA letter from whichever country comes from is a true letter. Okay. And here's how we play, because in South America, basically the CPA is being handled by us. especially we're owners of the company. So I need a CPA from wherever you have your company, if you're self-employed, that states what do you do today, what position you have in the company, where's your company, how much are you being paid from your company today and for the past 2 years. A very simple one-page letter, and the only thing that I need on that letter is to be signed and issue a copy of the professional license of your CPA. Very simple. It doesn't have to come with tax returns. It doesn't have to come with bank statements supporting what the CPA states. It's a very simple letter that we're going to use to make you qualify for a mortgage loan here. Okay. The second document, if you don't have a social security and you don't have a credit history in the states, then we need a bank from your country that needs to issue a what's called a recommendation letter that needs to state, yeah, Mauricio Ordonez has a bank account in Citibank, and he handles his account in
Properly.
satisfactory manner,
Uh-huh.
or he's never had an issue with checks, or it's a bank that says that you are a good client. Okay. The rest three documents are copies. We're not going to need a copy of a passport. We're going to need a copy of a visa. Sometimes you don't have a visa to come to the States, only tourist visa. Okay. B1, B2. If you don't have a tourist visa because you lost it because of COVID, then you're not going to be able to get the first tier of banks. We have to go to second or third tier banks, but there's a solution. The best scenario is passport and visa to come to the States. Third document is we're going to complete an application. You're going to tell us everything in a small page.
So hold on, Mauri. I'm sorry to interrupt you. If you don't have a visa, you cannot apply for a mortgage. Is
You
that
can
correct?
apply for a mortgage,
You
but
can.
not the rate is going to be hit. That's it.
Okay, that's a question that I get asked all the time. I don't have a visa. Can I buy something? Yes, you can, but the rate is going to be different.
Correct.
Okay, perfect.
So we're going to need an application to be completed. It's very simple page. Then this application needs to come with a copy of utility bill, power light, the water, whatever that states the same name that you complete on my application and the address that you complete on application where you live. And the most important thing, financial strength. Financial strength in United States, it's measured with cash on the bank. You can have stocks, you can have Apple stocks, you can have bond stocks of your country, you can have CDs, you can have savings accounts, you can have
Oh my
checking
God. So
accounts.
I am financially weak in the
Okay.
United.
So if you have cash in your country of origin and in the States, the money does not have to be in the States, then you're going to be able to get the best rate possible. What do I need to see? With your last two bank statements, it can be one, two, three, or five bank accounts, okay? From your business, from your personal, and you can show, for example, Claudia, you can show your company account. So it's your company, so we can use it, okay? And then we need to see their down payment, closing costs, prepaid items, and reserves. How do I choose the best rate possible? The more reserves you show me, the better rate you're going to get. What are reserves? Reserves are if your mortgage payment is going to be $2,000 and you tell me, Mauricio, I have the 30% down. I have the 8% of closing costs. I do have the 38% I'm going to invest on the property. They're perfect. And then I need to show the underwriter that you are not weak financially here because of buying a property, that you're going to still be having savings. And the minimum requirement for the first tier of banks with the best rate possibles are 12 months reserves. So I need to see another $24,000. Okay. It can be your country of origin. You don't have to pledge them. You don't have to leave it in the bank account. You just have to show me you have to pay the money. So you close and then you can pull out the money. So that's cool. Mauricio only have 3 months of okay, then we need to go to second floor or third floor of lenders. So there's always a solution, but if you let us guide you, then we're going to be able to get the best rates.
Okay, so question. You just said 8% closing costs. Guys, this is very important. The cost of a loan for a foreign national is not the same of the cost of a loan for a person from the United States, which is totally makes sense. As Marisa said at the beginning, it's more expensive, obviously, because the bank is gonna charge money, the mortgage broker is gonna charge money, plus all the costs for the closing costs. So just to round it up, when you have a client in front of you saying how much it's going to cost me in total, everything, closing costs with the bank points, etc., the magic number is around 8%. Never say 8% because it could be 8.2 or 7.8, and the client is going to go mad with you. Always use the magic word around. Around 8% is the cost of a loan for a foreign national, right, Mauri?
Yes, however, well, the rates are the same. When you and I buy an investment property, and this is why I don't understand sometimes with the American system, especially in the financial system, is we need to have a perfect scenario to get the same rates that a foreign national have with only 5 documents. And we don't have a perfect scenario to have an investment property. So what you said about closing costs, it's based on a perfect scenario in America that can go and buy an investment property. Obviously, they can go right away to a bank and they won't charge points. Okay, but if an American doesn't have a perfect scenario, then we have the same cost as a foreign national on investment properties. Okay,
Okay,
so most of the times I am able to get better rates to a foreign national than to us, if especially we are self-employed.
perfect. Okay. 8% of the purchase price or the loan amount
Yeah, it's between this is the way I sell it. It's between 6 and 8%. Okay.
of
The
the loan
higher
of the
the
purchase price.
of the purchase price. The
Right.
higher the purchase, the lower the percentage. Okay. So let's say if we buy a property in $300,000, there's an item called underwriting fee. It's the same for a $200,000 loan than for a $2 million loan. So the percentage, obviously, on a $2,000 loan is different than a $2 million loan. So that's why I said between 5 and 8%. Okay.
Okay.
So especially under $1 million loans, we're gonna be around 8%.
Guys, what happens if you tell your client it's going to be around 8% and at the end it's 7%? The client is going to love you forever and ever. Okay. So, what else can we ask Mauricio,
And
guys,
there's
now that we
and
have him?
I'm gonna divide into scenario the closing cost, Cloud.
Uh huh.
It's with a mortgage or without a mortgage. Okay. If you buy a pre-construction property without a mortgage, the closing costs are around 3%, 4%. And then it comes a mortgage. As you said, there's an appraisal fee, there's a mortgage broker fee, there's an underwriting fee, there's stamps on the mortgage. It's around another 4% of the loan amount normally. But if we add everything together, the way to sell it is between 7 and 8% of the purchase price. Okay. So the numbers are, if you buy a single family residence, I'm able to go 75% loan to value. If you buy a condominium that doesn't allow short-term rentals, we are able to go 70%. If we buy a condominium that allows short-term rentals, we're able to go 65%. If you buy a condo hotel, then I'm able to go 60 or 50% loan to value. So we need to have in consideration what type of property we have. And the second thing is not the same lending in Miami than in Jacksonville. Banks are more aggressive lending in important cities like Miami. Miami today, the brand Miami is so powerful that every bank in the United States want to lend money in Miami because of the
As I
brand
said to
today.
my agents, and I've been studying something that we're gonna change in the company. Nobody knows yet. I'm gonna announce it in a couple of weeks. Globalization now is the key for this because we were not in the map of the whole world 18 months ago. Everything has changed so big and so dramatically in Miami that we need to adjust. Now, as Mauricio said, banks are banks are fighting between themselves to lend in Miami because we still have a lot of ceiling and roof to go up in price per square feet that whatever they're buying right now is going to go up. It's not going to go down. It's going to keep going up.
Cloud, there's 70 high-rise projects waiting for the rates to go down. 70
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
Miami. They're only
Yeah.
waiting for the rates.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Once the rates go down, they're going to start building 70 new high-rise condominiums.
You have no idea the amount of permits in the city of Miami waiting to be approved. It's nuts. It's crazy. Last Tuesday we had Santiago Venegas as a guest, and I learned something that I didn't know. By the way, guys, I'm gonna send that presentation to everyone today. Miami is the 14th economy in the world right now. You know what that is? The 14th strongest economy in the world. And we keep going up. We keep going up. We cannot miss this wave. We
If we
cannot
have,
miss it.
if South American Latin people are watching us, there's this is a small difference that I'll tell us to make it easier. The GDP, which is the gross domestic product, which is
Mhm.
in Spanish is el Producto Interno Bruto.
No bruto. Uh-huh.
Okay, and in Miami, between Palm Beach, Fort Lauderdale, and Homestead, we have only 7 million people. 7 million. Okay, I'm from Colombia, but don't put Colombia as an example. Let's put Argentina. Okay, uh, 40 million people. Colombia over 50 million people, and the rest of South America except Brazil, they don't have the GDP that Miami only has. Only
Exactly.
Brazil and Mexico has a bigger GDP than Miami. That's how
Yeah.
powerful Miami is today. And it's
Yeah.
not and Miami is not powerful because of South Americans today. Miami
No.
is powerful because the American found out that we existed, like you said.
Yeah.
The American didn't, they knew Miami. Oh, yeah, Miami's too hot. Miami, it's only
For retirees,
the ocean, and
remember?
that's it.
Yeah, for the old people to retire to Miami. That was what Miami was 2, 3 years ago. And
Exactly.
after the pandemic, everything changes about Miami because we don't have a state tax, because we have the best beaches, because now everything is super expensive in Miami, and it used to be 2 years ago. Why? Because everybody now from the north wants to come and live here. It's not from Colombia anymore, or from Brazil anymore, or from Argentina anymore. It's everybody. Look, guys, look at the big real estate people in New York. They moved to Miami. What that means? Frederick Eklund, the biggest real estate star in New York, the biggest. He sells like crazy. He moved to Miami. That means something, right? Miami, the next 5 years in Miami is gonna be like a crazy boom. Believe me, it's gonna be crazy, and we need to be prepared.
And for them, Miami is not expensive.
No, for
That's why.
us, that
That's
now
why.
we can compare with 5 years ago because we went to the Publix and we $100. We had 6 bags of Publix groceries. Now with $100, we don't even get one. Okay, but for them, this is so cheap still. Very.
And Cloud, the good thing about this, when a foreign national buys a house or a condo as an investment, most likely an American is going to be your tenant. So because what you just said, there's
Definitely.
companies from there's not it's not only and this is an example I put. Jeff Bezos came to live here, Messi came to live here, and these wealthy people. But it's not about them. They have assistants, they have attorneys, they have accountants, they have
Correct. They have
men,
chefs.
they
They
have
have
chefs
maids.
that comes
Yeah.
with them to live here, and
Yeah.
they need to
Exactly.
live somewhere.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening here. And when a South American buys something here, most likely a tenant is going to be an American that at the first time they don't buy. When somebody comes from Chicago, if they're not wealthy, they're well positioned people, they first rent and then they buy.
And then they
So
buy.
that's
Correct.
that's what normally
That's a trend.
that's a trend exactly. So
Okay. And last,
that's what we're getting today.
before my last question, I have, do you have any tips uh, with the biggest issue that we are encountering right now, that is associations, Mauri?
Yes,
Associations
I
are
have. I
killing
have.
many of our deals.
Yes, I have. The first tip that I always say is, and with all the respect that every realtor deserves, um, a foreign buyer, if they start speaking about that their investments not working, normally I hang up the phone and I tell them, you don't have a good realtor. Okay, this is a business. This is a business. Okay, and that's why we need to sell the same thing. If you buy stocks, it's a business buying stocks. If you buy real estate, a real estate is a mid long term investment. It's not a short term investment. So if you are buying a condominium, a new condominium, you know more than me, Clau. This is what we need to tell the people. It takes about 2 years for a brand new condominium to establish. Don't expect the first day that's going to be everything correct. No, it takes 2 years. It takes 2 years to establish on a new condominium, especially if they are high rise. So whatever is happening here is good. Rates are awesome, even though everybody say they're high. For me, they're awesome. A rate has never been an issue for a foreign buyer to invest in the States. Obviously, rates are different than in COVID, but rates when Claudia and I started, the rates were around 10%, and
Correct.
people were still buying. So
Yeah.
rates are not an issue. So when somebody calls me, what rate do you have? What do you mean? Who's your buyer? What are they going to buy? Maybe a 10% works better than a 6.5. I don't know. So you never know. Timing, everything is a lot of issues. So condominiums are the what happened in Surfside, Clown. It's hitting every condominium. Okay.
Exactly. The associations is that where
Yes.
my question went to. Associations are killing many of our deals right
Yes.
now. But I think it's an elephant that we're not gonna be able to fight right now.
So that's why when we need to check the age of the building, and I should sell the issues with the 10 years old building are the issues we're gonna have. If your clients or your realtors sell condominiums under 10 years, we won't have issues on those buildings. The buildings that are over 10 years are the ones that are having issues. They don't have enough reserves. They're suing, they're still suing the developer, and there's a lot of issues with 10 years over on condominiums, especially high-rise condominiums. So,
Okay.
and there's new regulations because of Surfside now. Every building must have 10
The
months
40
of
years.
reserves, the 40-year certification. So there's a lot of things that we need to consider on the condominium. So the first thing that we need to find out is the listing realtor needs to get information from the association in order to see we're going to have any issues or no. So if your buyer is going to put only 20% down and is going to be a primary residence, then we're going to make a lot of questions. But if your
Yeah.
buyer is an investor and is going to put 40% down, we do less questions. So we need to find out a little bit about the buyer. We need to find out a little bit about the, let's say, the state where you're lending. I know you guys lend in Miami, but we lent around 9 states where the foreign national buys. For example,
Wow.
Brazilians, Cloud, do you know where the second biggest place besides Brazil where Brazilians live?
Where?
Massachusetts.
You're kidding me. That's so cold.
Two lenders, two banks told me, Mauricio, two foreign, let's say banks that lend to foreign nationals told me, you need to get licensed in Massachusetts because there's Brazilian buying in Massachusetts for the past 60 years. Because normally
Oh,
they send their children to
to the school, of course. And
and
then they
they buy
stay there.
property, but they buy the apartment for the kids.
Yeah, got it. Okay, you see, we learn
So
something every day. Guys, my last question to Mauri. If you were a superhero, what would the power you would like to have?
uh, sometimes being invisible.
It's a good one. I like to be invisible too. Mauri, thank
Sometimes,
you very much. Every
sometimes I like to be
guy,
invisible.
Instagram for Mauricio is at Mauricio Ordóñez C with double C at the end. Q Capital. You can see them everywhere. They are specialized in foreign nationals. Please contact them.
I have a
If you
YouTube
need.
channel, Cloud, in Spanish. It's an
Okay.
educational channel. If your realtors are watching me, you don't have to call me. You can use my videos. You can brand it your own self. And today with technology, I know you can pull my own video and you can use it or short it or whatever, or use a tip or whatever's in Spanish. And it's for everybody. It's not only for me. It's in the
So the
purpose
name
of
of
it.
the YouTube channel is Mauricio
Mauricio
Ordóñez.
Mauricio Ordóñez as well. I didn't know
Okay.
I had a Mauricio Ordóñez singer. I'm not the singer. I'm the financial guy. So
Okay.
and there's gonna be
Okay.
there's gonna be some videos without her, and there's gonna be
Okay.
new videos with her, Clau. So and you're gonna
Okay.
see me. I changed a little bit. So that's me. That's me.
Okay, thank you, Mauri. It was a pleasure to have you here. Okay, I hope to see
No,
you
Clau,
soon.
thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, and thank you for
Thank you.
everybody. And
Thank you, Mauri.
let's make a lot of money together.
Yeah, we can. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Okay, you can put it on the website, Isaac. Yes, you can. Okay, my next guest, I think everybody knows him, is our KvCore Master Guru. His name is Juan Morales. Juan, thank you.
Hello.
Welcome to the stage.
Thank you.
Um, okay, we want to learn. We can learn. Oh, let me see your cat.
she, no, she's fine. Hi, Disco.
Okay. Okay, welcome, Juano. Thank you for being here. We want to learn a lot about KvCore. Why? For me, the most important thing about KvCore is, of course, the CRM. Okay, but for me, the most important thing is I am amazed how we can generate leads through KvCore. So, Juan, can you teach us about KvCore since the beginning? Like we don't know anything because I'm always learning. It's so a robust system that we are always learning something, correct?
Yeah. So the thing with KvCore is that at the very basic core of it, it's a CRM. For those of you who don't know, a CRM is a customer relationship management tool. Every real estate agent, whether you're in brokers, not in brokers, a new real estate agent, a real estate agent with more than 50 years of experience, or anywhere in between, you need to have a CRM, a database where all of your potential leads and your past clients can land into so that you can start sending them email blasts or anything automated, or you can even start sending them information about your services and your listings that you have as well. But yeah, that's very
Okay.
basically what KvCore is on a base level.
I think you just said the magic word for every agent: automatization.
Mm-hmm.
Automatic. We are living in a world where everything is so fast that we have so many things to do at the same time that I think we need to breathe, stop, and think more um, smart in a smartest way. When you say automatization, it means that we have to do it once and let it happen by itself. Can you explain that to us?
Sure. So the way I like to do it for brokers to start generating leads is every first or between the first week of every month, I set up all my automated emails as campaigns. For those of you that don't know, a drip campaign or a campaign when it comes to a CRM is a set of tasks that you can do automatically or that you can have the system do automatically to your clients. Let's say I want to set up a campaign for new arriving clients, right? New leads. You can start setting up emails that as soon as when this lead signs up with you, they get an email. You get a notification to your text. They will get a welcome introductory video, whatever you decide to do, automatically. You don't have to keep coming back and doing this over and over and over again until this potential lead actually answers to you. Okay.
Which is super cool because now we can combine it even with artificial intelligence. I know, guys, it sounds complicated. Don't worry, it's not as complicated when we have somebody like Juano that can teach us how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now we can use artificial intelligence to create our drip emails. And this is what I mean when I talk about globalization, when I talk about robust systems, when I talk about the many things that we can automate in order to be present without killing ourselves in the doing. So, can you teach us a little or can you show us a little on KvCore, how we can use KvCore with artificial intelligence?
Sure thing. Give me 1 second here.
Thank you.
Okay. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes, you are.
All right.
Can you
So,
make it a little bigger, please?
yeah, okay. Like that?
Thank you.
Better?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
better.
So, for those of you that don't know KvCore is one of the most complete and robust tools when it comes to real estate. And one of the best things you can do to start generating automated content is we can go here into where it says all marketing. Okay. If you already have KvCore, you can just follow along. If you don't have KvCore, feel free to like set up a one-on-one with me or a private conversation and I'll help you out. But what you're going to do is go to all marketing. As you can see, KvCore is always changing. So for those of us who are using KvCore on a daily basis, they keep changing up the look and feel of it, but everything's still where it's supposed to be. One of the most important things that you can look at is your smart campaigns. Okay, I'm gonna click here on Manage Smart Campaigns, and I'm gonna show you guys a default campaign that we have created for buyers, as an example.
When Juan says when we have created, this is for every broker's agent. We already create these campaigns for buyer's agent. When Juan said campaigns, it doesn't mean that you have to go and do it one by one. What Juan is going to show us is how this is already done there. You just have to ¿cómo se dice? Automatizarlo
You have to
to,
automate it.
to your database. Okay? Go ahead, Juan.
So let's take a look at these two examples. We'll look at default new lead buyers. Whenever you generate a new lead through whether it's boosting a property or through one of your services, and they fall into your CRM or your KvCore in this case, the first thing they're going to get attached to is a campaign called default new lead buyer. Okay? What do I mean by that? When this new lead signs up with you, what's going to happen? Immediately, the system is going to notify the agent, which is in this case us, that a new lead has come in. Okay. Also, immediately, the system will give us a call in case we didn't see the text or the task in this particular sense. Okay. On the first day after generating this lead, from the agent, an email will be sent to this particular lead. Let's take a look at what this email says. If we open up the edit button here, we can see the template, buyer first email, the subject. Thanks for checking out. All this in parentheses, never change it. This is just codification for HTML formats. Everything else, you can completely edit it as you may want, okay? But for example, this first email that the client is going to get is, Thanks for checking out my website. Are you looking to buy soon or just browsing at this point? Regards, agent first name, last name, office name, cell phone, email, and so on. Okay. These are called touches, and you can have these as many as you want, or as little as you want per campaign. As you can see, this particular campaign has more than 700 touches, meaning that this person is going to get notified at least 700 times, or depending on the number of touches and on what day you can have it set up in that particular day.
700 times, but in a period of years. So
Mhm.
don't get confused. Or if somebody's gonna send us 700 emails, we're gonna go nuts,
Right.
obviously. So we can set it up in a period of 2 years. Let's say because of the prospect is a cold prospect, so we need to
Mhm.
put it in our database. I have people on my database that have been in my database for 5, 6 years, and then they buy.
Exactly.
Why? Because I am the only constant.
Hmm.
Consistency is the key. When they're ready, who's the person that is been sending them an email every month?
That,
Me.
that, that
When
would
they're
be
ready
us.
to buy, who's gonna look? They're gonna look for what person? For the person that has been constant
Hmm.
with them on it. Correct, Juano?
That is correct. So another cool thing is that for the agents that use KvCore within our company, you can actually clone and create these campaigns and edit them as you see fit within your own KvCore. If you just clone your campaign and bring it to your own account, feel free to change it as much as you want. You can do it in Spanish, English, whatever your language is. You can do it for foreign nationals, like we were just talking about. We can do it for locals if you wanted to make it for locals. And the neat part about this is that KvCore is so smart that when somebody actually replies, let's say on the 17th day, right? Or on the 17th touch, the campaign will automatically stop sending them information and put them on a new campaign that you may have set up, or you can actually start engaging with them on a manual basis. Okay. So they're not always going to keep getting this left and right nonstop. It's only up until when they answer you, or unfortunately, when they unsubscribe from you, because we legally have to put an unsubscribe button with everything that we're trying to reach out. Okay. But if
Okay.
you're not putting yourself out there, then you're dead in the water. You have to put yourself out there. And the best way to do it is with automatization. Okay.
Okay. I have a question, because remember that we know how to sell houses, but we're not very good at this type of systems.
Mhm.
So how can I get my database inside the program?
Okay. So there's multiple ways of doing it. I'm going to show you each one of them. Okay. If we go to the all contacts tab, we can actually start bringing in our contacts one at a time. Obviously, for those of us who have huge databases, don't worry about this. This says private leads because we can't steal leads, or no other agent can steal leads from our agents. But basically, you can start bringing in agents, not agents, I'm sorry. You can start bringing in your clients one at a time. Or if we go here to lead engine tools, at the very top, there is an option called bulk lead import. For those of us who have databases, let's say in MailChimp or any other program, or even an Excel sheet, or even pen and paper, you can actually start bringing that particular list into KvCore. And there are two main ways to do it. Let's say I have an unorganized database. I don't know. I have first names, last names, emails, but I don't know where the fields are. They can actually do it for you, and they take around maybe 24 to 3 days to actually completely organize it for you, bring it into KvCore, or if you don't trust them doing it, you can do it yourself. Okay. Another thing that I want to touch on that is that, let's say you don't like KvCore, which everybody loves KvCore, but let's say you one day want to leave KvCore, you can actually export everything as well as importing it and take it to any other CRM. It's not like you're being tied down or a gunpoint with KvCore. You can use any CRM that you want. This is just the one that we actually prefer. Okay, but there are multiple ways to bring in your clients, your leads, everything, and all their information into KvCore. Okay.
Okay, perfect. So I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
I have a website.
Okay.
So can I tie my website to the CRM KvCore so my prospects that write to me on my website fall into KvCore?
Yes, that's a very good question. So let's
Thank you.
say we actually are given a website or we create a website on our own. Within KvCore, if you want to use your website as what's called a landing page for when your leads actually start asking for more information, you can go here on the top right hand corner. You'll see your name. In this case, we'll see Company Admin Brokers, which is myself. You go into your profile and you're going to put your website here. Okay. Now, the second step is you're going to want to go into where it says Website Manager. And from here, you can request a plugin for your website. If you have a website that you want to use that you've created outside of KvCore, you need to plug
Yeah,
it in.
that
Okay?
right there. This is for the websites that are outside KvCore, right?
Exactly.
Now we're gonna get into the ones that is inside because I'm gonna give my agents a sneak peek of what's coming. Go ahead, Juan.
Okay, so for those agents who haven't created a website, if you want to create a website within KvCore, there's only one way to do it. Okay? The first thing is you need to buy a domain. How do I buy a domain? Through the marketplace, you can actually get domains through KvCore. However, I would always recommend that you buy a domain from a reputable website such as GoDaddy so that you can see how much that domain costs versus other domains, if it's a good domain for real estate, and so on. Okay. Once you have your domain, you can go into the all lead engines and you see where it says landing page. You'll bring in your domain. We'll use Brokers LLC as an example. And you can actually build your own domain through here or your own landing page. It's not as robust. I will tell you the truth. It's not as robust as creating one from outside or hiring somebody to do this for you. But if you want to sit down, maybe take a couple of weeks to do it yourself, you can completely edit your website as much as you need. Okay. And you can create it directly within KvCore. All right. Does that answer the
Okay.
question?
Yeah. And imagine something, guys. Can you believe this is the basic KvCore program?
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
This
We
is
are
KvCore
working
at
to
its
we are go
base level.
we base level. We are working in brokers to give you no more the basic. We're going to give you a more robust KvCore that has many more times, many more things to do. That's on the making. Okay. This is part of the new announcements that I'm going to have for you guys. Okay. So we're very happy with the things that we are going to add to our company because as I said globalization for Miami is the key. Okay. Miami is having and is going to have a very high wave in the next 5 years, and we need to be ready for it with all the tools that we need to have. Okay. So, just to give you an idea, if you go outside the company and you buy KvCore on your own, you can, but it's going to cost you around $500 a month. Correct one? Those are
It costs a $400 setup fee, and they charge you $200 monthly after that.
okay.
If you have a
Perfect. So,
single agent license, yeah.
okay. With us, you don't have any cost whatsoever for that. Okay. So, last thing that I wanted to teach us, Juan, on
Mhm.
KvCore that I think is amazing is the way to generate leads through
Yes.
KvCore, the boost system that they use. And remember, guys, again, this is only the basic KvCore. We are working on giving you guys the full version of KvCore.
Hmm. All right. So, one of the best ways to actually start generating leads for your own accounts is called boosting a property. Basically, putting a property out there, whether it's your social medias or any other type of marketplace website, that you can start generating leads through that. They click on the ad, they come to your KvCore, and you can start email blasting them or putting them into your campaigns. All right. So the main way to access boosting a property is you go to the marketplace, we scroll down just a little bit, and we see property boost. However, and I'm going to teach you guys this here right now, there is a better way to do a property boost. Okay. If we go here to where it says all MLS listings, which, by the way, KvCore has access to every MLS with every board that exists in Florida, we can actually see every property available on the MLS, every active property. Now, when it comes to legal terms, we're not allowed to boost properties that belong to an agent outside of Brokers LLC. Within Brokers LLC, you actually are allowed to without asking for permission. If you want to boost a property from an outside agent, you need to ask for permission, whether it's an email or a written letter or something like that. All right. So how can we look for
Sorry,
broker?
Juan, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is very important that I repeat to you guys.
Mhm.
Me as broker of Brokers LLC, because remember that the listings legally becomes to the broker. I gave permission within our company so everybody can boost or advertise everyone's listings.
Mhm. All right. So yeah, everything that we see here is from every agent that is basically posting something on the MLS. How can we filter so that we only see properties from Brokers LLC? Very simple. You go here to where it says filters. We click on it. We go from all to agency listings. You can even draw on a map, kind of like how you do on the MLS. You can put a minimum or maximum price range, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, and so on. And then we just hit apply filters. Now we can actually see all of the properties that are from Brokers LLC agents. All right. Let's take, we'll take this one for example, 3598 Yacht Club Drive 702. If we click on it, everything that we expect from the MLS is here. Actually, this is from Isaac. So we have the property in question, we have the address, price, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, the broker's remarks on their listing overview, amenities, general features, such as if it's a HOPA or not a HOPA, an HOPA. We have the gallery of pictures taken from the MLS. We have a map telling us where it's from, okay? And every other type of information that we can gauge from this. We can do simple CMAs, we can do comparables, we can view the activity on the property. This is actually a fairly new property that was just listed not too long ago. So as we can see, there isn't that much activity, but for something that's been in the market for a while, you will see more activity. All right, but going back to what I wanted to show you guys to generate leads is we can see the boost property button here. Let's say this is a great listing for me to boost or for me to promote myself. I can just click on boost property. And it's 3 simple steps. All right, let me zoom in on this one a little bit. The first step is you're going to select a boosting type. If it's a listing, if it's an open house, a price reduced, or a just sold. If it's your listing, if this listing belongs to you as an agent, you can use any 4 of these topics. If it's a listing from another agent, whether it's from Brokers LLC or from an outside source, you can only promote it as a listing unless you have the rights and the go ahead to use an open house or price reduce or a just sold. All right. The second step is to do the ad preview and boost plan. You can change the pictures to whichever picture you want. You can look at the property or add more properties to this listing. You can display the price if you want to do so. I like to do that myself. Display image overlay will just put a banner that just says just listed. And here you're going to select the website where you want to send that traffic to. This is why it's so important for everybody to have a website, because they need to land somewhere. Okay. And the third and final step is to choose your pricing plan. Now, everybody gets a little scared of this. Why do I have to pay for this? If you don't invest in yourselves, then you're not really putting yourself out there. All right. It's just as simple as that. The one we recommend is for $60. Your ad will run for 7 days. It will be seen up to 2,000 times. After that, it will be taken off. and it can generate anywhere between 0 to 16 contacts to your database. Okay? And if you guys think
And,
this is
and to prove that, after Juan is finishing with this, we're gonna show you the kind of leads that somebody that boosts properties on regular time, on regular moments,
Mhm.
how many leads that agent gets.
Yeah. So obviously, with the conversion rate, you're not always going to get the 16, right? Sometimes you might get more, sometimes you might get less. It's just depending on the time you post it, when you post it, how many times it's been seen. Remember, when it comes to marketing, this is a crazy numbers game. Out of every 100 people that will see your property, only 2 or less will actually ask for information. Okay? So if we take a look at some of the success stories from our agents here, we have Diana Perez, who promoted this listing actually not too long ago, and it's still running at this moment. She's already generated 11 clicks and 3 new leads into her database. All right. Let's take a look here at Brittany Williams, who is a fantastic promoter on KvCore. She did a listing from February 16th to the 23rd. She generated 68 clicks and 18 leads into her database. So if you're sitting there telling me that this doesn't work, I beg you to look at this and I will tell you otherwise. Even the company generates leads. Let's
So
actually go
let's
back.
put it this way, guys. You need to have a database. And
Mhm,
many of you call me and say, but I don't have a database. We have a database if we go out and do our nails. Ask the nail technician to give you her phone number and her email. She needs to live somewhere or he needs to live somewhere.
mhm,
You need to start putting names into the database. The best way to start putting names into a database is the property boost in KvCore
mhm.
because people is looking for houses already.
Yep.
It's not the nail technician that might move in a couple of years. These people is already looking for houses. They have the interest.
Right.
They
So
have the need.
if we take a
Uh-huh.
look at the year of 2023, let's take a look at Joanne Guiri, who actually has a team within Brokers LLC. The reason why this particular says photo coming soon is because she actually found the buyer for this listing through these leads, the leads she actually generated for this particular boost. A lot of these that say photo coming soon means that these are listings that were already that have actually signed a contract through the MLS. That's why they don't appear with pictures. You can see that it actually works. Some listings won't actually help. Some listings will do something for you. It's all a numbers game. But the more you invest into yourself and your services and even your listings in this case, the better you're gonna do. Okay. So don't be afraid to spend a little bit of money on yourself to generate leads, because in the end, it can definitely help you out. But
You
before we
are
move on,
you are an independent contractors. You are managing your own companies.
mhm,
You are your own enterprise.
yeah,
You're just working under an umbrella that is giving you tools. We're going to have more tools because we are becoming a big city in the world.
mhm,
But you are on your own. Use it.
yeah,
Use all of these tips that we have here.
yeah. Can I show them just 2 more things that I
Yeah,
always like
sure.
to teach? All right. If we go here to scheduled mass emails and we click here, I'm sorry, uh, I can't do it on this one in particular. Let me see if I can find a workaround real quick. Let's go to let's go to that won't let me do it through the training account. Let me see if I can just change something. All right. Let's say you generated a lead or 2 or 50 or 100 or 1,000 and you want to send them a mass email with your services. You can actually just go into your database, right? Select the number of people you want to send it to. But do you guys see this new button called Use Smart Assistant? Guess what? We've actually implemented ChatGPT into KvCore. All we have to do is give it a prompt. We don't know what to write. I don't know what to or how to promote myself. And let's just go ahead and give it a prompt, such as how to, actually, not even,
This is the
promote.
artificial intelligence that is being embedded in KvCore, right?
Exactly. Promote my listing to my buyers. You can hit generate. We can populate it with an MLS ID. We can bring an MLS ID, and it'll take all of that detail into consideration. I did not write this. This was all AI generated. Hi, first name. I hope this email finds you well. I wanted to reach out to you and share an incredible new listing that I believe matches exactly what you're looking for in this property. All the property details. This property is truly a gem. We don't have to do all the work anymore, right? And the last thing I want to show you guys with this is, guess what? It also works in any language that exists to known mankind. Promueve. Um, Actually, quiero vender este listing a mis clientes latinos. You hit generate, and it'll write the email for you in Spanish. You can do it in Russian, Japanese, Chinese, whatever language you actually give it, it'll spit out whatever information you want into that language. Last but not least, you can edit any of the information out and just switch it from there. Another cool thing that I like to do is I will usually sit here, have the AI write something for me, and bring in this information into my smart campaigns like we were talking about before. So this is a really effective and useful tool for you guys to use. Okay.
Okay, I understand this is a little bit overwhelming, guys, because it's a lot of things. So with the new KvCore platform that is a little more robust, we're gonna have a drop-down menu where Juan can give you some hours of his own, so he can go through you guys through everything, and he's going to help you create everything that you guys need on the new platform. Okay. So as soon as we have that ready, we're gonna let you know, guys, so he can guide you through it. But for now, even with the basic KvCore, we have so many tools that we can use in order to generate our own leads. And let's do an exercise, because I love to give everyone at the end hands-on exercises in how to be successful. Let's say again, your database is 500 agents, 500 names. I'm sorry. I'm always thinking about agents. Your database is 500 clients or prospects. Okay. Let's say you're going to send 3 emails a week to those 500 prospects. How many emails is that? 500 times 3, 1,500 emails a week. And let's multiply 1,500 emails a week times 4 weeks in a month. That is 6,000 emails in a month. What's the conversion rate in real estate in order to get one client, which is different than a prospect? Remember, one thing's on prospects and another thing are clients, right? So what's the conversion rate? Is 1%. What is 1% of 6,000 emails? Okay, who's going to tell me on the chat? 1% times 6,000 emails. Hello, guys. It's too early. 1% of 6,000 is how many?
It's
Still
just 60.
waiting. 6.
60.
1%. 10% is 60. 60?
1% of 6,000 is 60. Yeah.
Okay, 60. 60 clients. And if you close 10% of 60 clients is 6. So, and everything with just 500 names, 500 prospects on your database. I need you guys to start putting names on that database. But if you put the names on the database and you don't do anything like drip campaigns, nothing is going to happen. So the goal is starting today. For the names of the database that you have, you're going to send 3 emails a week. And then you're going to have X amount of emails sent by the end of the month. And you're going to start selling more. Guys, we need to sell more. Clients are out there. We are not selling more this year than the year before. And the year before, we didn't sell more than 2022. Something is wrong. We need to start working on it. I am start working on it. I am working on it, but you guys need to have the tools as well. Okay. My last question for Juan. If you were a superhero, what would you like to be?
If I was a superhero, what would I like to be? The superpower of money. I need more money.
Okay, we all need that.
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna get there. Don't worry, Juan. We're gonna get there.
We're gonna
Thank
get
you,
there.
everyone. Okay. See you all soon. Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys.
Thank you. Bye.